Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also the publisher of Reading the Pictures.
With so much adversity on planet Earth right now, this touchdown photo from Mars provided NASA and America with something to celebrate. Of course, that, and the emotional quality of these images, is something the space agency banks on.
This photo was distributed by NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It's one of the first images taken by Perseverance, NASA's Mars rover, after landing on that planet on February 18th, after more than a 200-day journey through space from the Earth. The rover is designed to hunt for signs of past life, as Mars shows evidence it once possessed water and a thicker atmosphere.
I love that the first image from the rover was actually a picture made by the Hazard camera, which is literally a camera that's attached to the rover designed to help it get around and avoid running into things. And so to me, there's a really great visual analog here to everyday life on Earth, which is, you might have a backup camera on your car to keep you from running over your child's tricycle in the driveway. What's interesting about that as the first image is, on the one hand, it's the first image and it's from this camera and it's exciting, right? And I actually watched the landing live, and it was thrilling to see what was getting beamed back from Mars. But as a photo, it's really visually underwhelming. They later released a high-resolution color version of this image that came back, and it was more visually interesting. And other images are coming in that are more dramatic and that kind of look more like we want Mars to look, right? We don't want Mars to be black and white. We want Mars to be red, because that's what Mars is supposed to look like. But I love that about this image because it's so kind of vernacular and ad hoc that you really do get the feeling of seeing something for the first time that no one's ever seen before.
I'm really struck by the grainy black and white image as well, and I don't think it's accidental. We did a salon a couple years back with the University of Maryland. We were looking at science and visual culture, and we spent a good bit of time talking about NASA and the marketing of science. And when I look at this grainy image, I think about seeing it side by side with that color version that ran in the New York Times and how those two got equal billing. Then you ask yourself why. And I think what's really in the mix here is how much that grainy image, especially for people that are a little older, connects back into the visual centers of our brain to the images that are embedded there of the most exciting moments in NASA history. The Apollo 11 landing on July 20th, 1969, involving Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. They were the first humans to land on the moon. And there's a number of images. They first land, then you see Armstrong out walking around, you see the American flag planted on the moon. This image is a throwback to that image, and I think that's why they were perfectly happy to have this circulated.
I think that's a really good point. You talked about the moon landing, and I think it's really important that we think about the long history of links between photography and space. Not just the space program, but space in general. We can think about the moon landing photos. We can think about the famous photo of the Earth from the moon, which lore says it inspired the first Earth Day. More recently, astronaut Scott Kelly's Instagram feed from the space station gave people a sense of what the Earth looked like from the space station as it flew around. And then we can even go back to some of the earliest photographs made by photographers in the 1840s and 1850s. A guy named John Adams Whipple was collaborating with Harvard scientists to make photographs of the moon. He was making daguerreotypes and other images of the moon. So that long connection, right? That needing to not only know that we, quote unquote, from Earth can go out there or can look into space, but that we can see it and visualize it and, hold it in our hands. That's such an important connection, I think.